Today, I'm going to give you a simple 4-step method that will show you exactly how to scale your business. Not grow it randomly, not hustle harder and hope something sticks. You will be able to actually scale it with a system that captures attention, builds trust, converts clients, and keeps them coming back. 4 steps, 1 framework. Let's get into it. Here's what most business owners with a foundation already built get wrong. They think scaling means doing more of what they're already doing. More posts, more ads, more outreach, more everything. But without a method, it's just more noise. And the thing is, the market is already full of noise. So you got something real. You put in the work. You got the clients. You got the customers. You got a track record. You got an offer and a product that actually delivers. But your growth is slowed down or is inconsistent. Some months are great. Some months you wonder what happened. Listen, you ain't struggling to do the work. You're just struggling to get in front of the right people consistently and convert them without feeling like you're begging for the business. Stay with me because I'm about to break down the system I use called the cash method. Okay, so there are 4 steps and each letter stands for something. C stands for capture their attention. Listen, you can have the best offer in the world, the best results, the best track record. But if you can't stop the scroll, none of that matters because nobody ever sees it. In a world where everybody is competing for attention, the entrepreneur who can't capture it first is invisible, and invisible don't scale. And listen, I get it. This feels like the part that's not supposed to matter. Like you went into business to do the work, not perform for the internet. I get it. You ain't trying to be an influencer. You just want clients. You just want customers. But here's the reality. Attention is the front door to every transaction. If they don't stop, they don't see. If they don't see, they don't buy. That door has to open first. Think about it like dating. You can be the most loyal, most caring, most solid person in the world, but if you don't do something to get noticed, nobody's walking up to you. So attention is the first move, and you have to be intentional about it. Early in my business, I was putting out offers that I thought was valuable, and they were. But it wasn't stopping anybody. It blended in. It just looked and sounded like everybody else. The same format, the same tone, the same generic advice. I wasn't capturing attention. I was literally adding to the noise. That shift happened when I started leading with the problem instead of the solution. Instead of, here's how to manage your cash flow, I started with, have you ever wondered why you felt broke, even though your business is profitable? You see, that one question stopped people because it was specific, because it was real, because it called out exactly what they were feeling before they knew that they were looking for an answer. You got to capture them first, right? Everything else comes after. Capturing attention isn't about being loud. It's about being specific. It's about saying the thing that your ideal customer is already thinking, but they ain't heard you say it out loud yet. When you nail that, when you speak directly to their reality, oh, they gonna stop. They gonna lean in. And now all of a sudden you got the room. That is where know, like, and trust begins. They stop because they recognize themselves, and they stay because you seem to understand them. And they come back because you already started solving a problem that they didn't know how to name. Now, your content, your messaging, your outreach, all of it should be designed to make the right person stop and say, oh, this for me. Not everybody, but the right person. You get that right and you've unlocked the first step to scaling because now you're not chasing, you're attracting. The next is A for authority offer, right? So they stopped scrolling. They paid attention. Now what? This is where most entrepreneurs fumble the bag. They either go straight for the big sale, they go too fast, too soon, it feels pushy, or they keep giving value with no risk at all or no ask at all. And then all of a sudden they wonder why nobody's converting. There's a middle step that most people skip, and it's the most important one. Here's the thing about people who are ready to spend money. They don't just want a solution. They want to know if you're the right person to deliver it. You see, they've been burned before. They've bought the course that didn't work. They've hired the consultant who disappeared. They tried the program that promised everything and delivered nothing. So now they're cautious. And cautious people, they need proof before they pull out their wallet. The authority offer is how you give them that proof. It's how you demonstrate, not just declare that you know what you're talking about. You see, when I launched Built to Pay You, I didn't just put this book out and say, hey, buy this. I spent 10 years before that showing people what I knew. I was breaking down frameworks. I was teaching the concepts. I was giving these people real sight into how I think about how cash flow and business is building, right? So by the time this book was available, people weren't deciding whether to trust me. They already did. The authority offer did that work in advance. Now, your authority offer could be a free training. Maybe it's a lead magnet. Maybe it's a workshop or a webinar or a piece of content like this. But the thing is, you got to make it so good that people share it without being pushed. It doesn't cost them anything, right? It doesn't have to cost them anything, but it got to prove something. It has to make them say, okay, this person knows what they're doing. So guess what? I want more of this. You see, when you lead with authority, when you give something valuable before you ask for anything, you change the dynamic completely. You're not just a vendor anymore trying to make a sale. You are literally an expert who's already shown up for them. And people buy from experts they trust. As a matter of fact, they buy from experts they know, they like, and they trust every single time. So now, your authority offer is your credibility on display. It's the thing that closes the gap between I just found this person and I'm ready to invest. Build that thing intentionally. Make it specific to the exact problem that your ideal customer is trying to solve, and let it do the trust building work so your sales conversation don't have to. The next thing is S, which is what we call signature offer. In a signature offer, now they know you. Now they trust you. They've seen what you can do. And at this point, they're ready to go deeper. This is your moment. And this is exactly where a lot of business owners, they leave money on the table. Not because they don't have a clear, defined, or signature offer to point people to. They got the services. They got the packages. But what they got is, well, it depends. But they don't have the one thing that they're known for, right? And listen, I understand why it's hard. You can do a lot of things. You got range. And you don't want to leave value on the table by being too narrow. I get it. But here's what happens when you try to offer everything. Your client can't decide. And a confused client does nothing. They don't buy complex. They don't buy flexible. They don't buy the clear. Basically what they buy is the clear thing, the specific thing, the thing that has a name and a promise and a price. For me, that became Built to Pay You. Not just the book, but the entire framework, the road method, the wealth triangle, the cash system that we're talking about now. All of it lives under one roof, one name, one promise. I help entrepreneurs build businesses that actually pay them. That's the signature. Everything I do points back to that. And when I got clear on that, when I stopped trying to be everybody or everything to everybody, when I started to be the Built to Pay You guy, the right clients started showing up to me already aligned to that message. They weren't coming to me confused about what I did. They were coming to me because they knew exactly what they was getting. So your signature offer ain't just about a product or a service. It's a statement about who you are and what you stand for. It's the thing that you want to be known for. It's the thing that people refer to you for. The thing that when somebody asks, who do I call for this? Your name needs to be the answer. So get clear on it, name it, price it, package it, and make sure that everything else you do points back to it. Because when your signature offer is clear, like really clear, scaling becomes a whole lot simpler because now you ain't managing a menu. You're amplifying one thing. And that one thing, when you do it extra that volume, is what scaling actually looks like. So now the last thing, H, headstart offer. Here's the step that everybody forgets. You got their attention. You demonstrated your authority. You bought that signature offer, or they bought that signature offer. Sorry. Now what? Most businesses stop there. Transaction complete. Move on to the next one. And in doing that, you leave the most valuable asset completely untapped. The client who already said yes. I want you to think about what it cost you to get that client. The content you had to create, the time, the trust building, the conversations, the endless 15-minute phone calls. all of that investment, and then you just let them walk out of the door with no reason to come back? Are you kidding me right now? That don't make no sense. But it happens constantly because entrepreneurs are so focused on finding new clients that they forget to keep the ones that they already have. And here's the thing about a client who already bought from you. They already trust you. The hard part is done. They don't need to be convinced. They just need a reason to stay. That is what I did when I built my whole business off a Head Start offer to start with, because I watched too many CPAs finish the tax season of work and literally just disappear. Not because they were unhappy, but because there was no natural next step for these people. No bridge, no reason for to continue. All they did was just did 1040s and business returns, throughout the year. But what I did is I started building my bridge off on purpose. What's the thing that makes sense after the signature offer? What's the continuation? What gives them a head start onto the next level? After the 1040, after the business return, after all of this. For me, it became an advisory relationship, the ongoing access. Because my thing is when I do the next book, the next framework, the next layer of work, it ain't going to be no hard sell for me. It's a natural next step because it was already waiting for them. So now let me say this before I go any further. The Head Start offer is not about squeezing more money out of a client or out of a customer, right? It's about continuing to serve them at the level that they deserve. If your work actually works, and it should, then there's more that they will need, more that they can grow into, more that you can help them with. The Head Start offer is how you honor that. Honestly, doing it this way is how you say, I'm not just here for the transaction, I'm here for your transformation. Now, when you build all 4 steps together, capture, authority, signature, Head Start, you stop having a sales problem because the system is doing the selling. Attention leads to trust. Trust leads to the offer. The offer leads to results. The results leads back around. And all of a sudden, you ain't dealing with a funnel no more. You're dealing with what we call a flywheel. And a flywheel is able to be scaled, right? Okay, so let me bring it home. C, capture their attention. Stop the scroll. Get them to stop the scroll. Speak to their reality before you pitch your solution. A, authority offer. Prove you know what you're doing before you ask them to invest. Know, like, and trust. Get them to know you, get them to like you, get them to trust you. And then we go to S, signature offer. Be known for one thing. Do it with excellence. Point everything back to it. And then H, Head Start offer. Give your best clients a reason to stay. Give them a reason to go deeper. Give them a reason to keep growing with you. That is the cash method. And if you got a foundation already built, this is the system that turns that foundation into scale. Now, separate from this, if you're trying to build the financial foundation underneath all of this, right? The part that makes sure the money that you're generating is actually working for you. That's what's in my book, The Built to Pay You, is all about. Yes, the cash method will get you clients, but Built to Pay You makes sure that you keep what you earn. 2 different conversations, but guess what? They're both necessary. The link to the book is in the description. Go get it, read it, apply it. Now, before you go, I want you to do 3 things right now to show a commitment to yourself. First, I want you to like and share this video because somebody in your circle is trying to scale a business right now as we speak, and this method will really help them out. And what kind of friend would you be if you just sit there and let them fail? Let them see this content. Next, subscribe to this channel so you never miss the content that can change how your business pays you. And then last, get a copy of this book. Even if it ain't for you, sow a seed into somebody else that may need it. Click on the link in the description and let us get you started. Because remember, your business is designed to serve others, but it is built to pay you. And if your business ain't paying you, I encourage you, I highly expect to hear from you soon. Until next time, this is Coach Max signing off.